The Last of Us Season 2 has really dropped the ball with this week's episode. I'm a little disappointed after last week where the episode was absolutely phenomenal, and now we're kind of here. We're going to be talking spoilers. This is going to be your spoiler warning. Now, I will say, there are still some great scenes during this episode showing the impact of Joel's death, like with him and Tommy, and how Tommy's cleaning his body, showing how his brother is dealing with this. Like, I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was a good moment. I also felt the stuff with Ellie dealing with Joel's death was done really well, of her going around, looking over his stuff, finding the gun, finding his watch, smelling his jacket, having these really emotional scenes that also match the game. Like, that was fantastic. However, when it came to added scenes that I felt like were just a lot of fluff to the episode, it really did not help its case. Like, first of all, we had the town hall meeting. It felt way too long, and it felt like it just added a lot of unnecessary information we didn't really need. Because they took out the scene of the game where Tommy is the one that headed off first before Ellie and Dina, and set up Maria, allowing Ellie and Dina to go out there to get her husband back and also to get her revenge. Like, that helped push the story along because we knew the characters' motives, we knew what they were doing, and then we got more of that in-depth character parts as the game went on. But instead, they felt like they had to put all this exposition in this episode where they had to tell us how the characters were feeling and show us all these different points. And I feel like having Gale in this episode again was kind of pointless. Like having her conversation with Ellie to show that Ellie is lying about how she feels, because then she explains it again to Tommy later in the episode, and then having Tommy there trying to say that all he wants to do is protect Ellie, which was just a way of the show telling us that he cares for her and is worried about her, which in the game, they kind of do this through Maria, where Tommy goes by himself and tells Maria not to let Ellie go. Don't let her take a horse. Don't let her take her gun. Setting up that he cares and he wants to protect her, but in a different way. I'm also not really a big fan of the fact that Tommy did not go on his path for revenge this episode. Like, I semi-understand why they did it, because they have more stakes now where he has a son. He's the leader of Jackson. He needs to stay there. But, like, the whole point of his motivation to go out was to get revenge for his brother. Like, he goes and does this. It's a bad decision, but he does it anyways because he's fueled by this revenge as well. And it's a really good story point, so it really makes me wonder why they removed that out of the story, because it's a big part of his character, and I'm very disappointed they did that. Now, that's probably my biggest issue with the episode, but again, I feel like they had a lot of fluff when it came to explaining stuff to us and having some unnecessary scenes that really stretched out the episode, and I'm disappointed with that. However, again, like I said, there were still really great moments with Ellie dealing with the trauma, having her have those emotional scenes, and then also go visiting the gravestone. Like, these are really good moments of the episode. I also think they added the Seraphites way too early. I don't get why they showed us them, other than trying to maybe make the WLF look way more monstrous than they were. But I guess we'll see in the future episodes. Let me know, how did you feel about this episode, and what do you feel about the fluff they added in?